Hey guys, Mighty Flux here. Sorry for the clickbait title, but I'm not talking about the devil fruit ability, but rather their power or strength or their reputation of you, as you will, in the world. What I mean is each Yonko has something that makes them feared throughout the world. Let me explain. While reading One Piece, while reading and watching One Piece, something came to mind that I saw all the Yonkos had. A certain power that they had that wasn't so much tied to their abilities or their crew, but more their reputation and their influence on the world. For example, Big Mom is a Yonko with her own specific form of power. Never mind the sheer strength of Big Mom, let's just talk about her influence. She runs an entire country and has an advanced network at her control, ranging from ministers to tar ships to the sea slugs to even the alliances they form with other groups like the underworld leaders, fire tank pirates, and so on. Do you think the other Yonkos have such an advanced network of their own? Would it have been so easy for Team Zoro to break into Wano if they did? The fear most people have with Big Mom isn't so much her sheer strength or the crew under her, which is fearsome nonetheless, but more her ties in the underworld and her connections to people in high places. She has her hand in many different aspects in the world, and if you are a regular person, your life is most likely being influenced by one of her many projects. On the other hand, Kaido's power and influence comes from his overwhelming strength and endurance. His reputation as the world's strongest creature definitely strikes fear in the world's eyes. As a seemingly unbeatable object in everyone's path, if anyone has nightmares about any pirate ship landing on their shores, the Beast Pirates are probably the one crew that is most feared to arrive. Kaido has built his empire in the world through fear and sheer power. Any regular pirate or civilian hears stories of a man caught and tortured by the Marines 18 times and avoided death in 40 attempts. Stories of how the weapons used to execute him would break in the attempt, even gaining him the reputation of being unable to die. That will strike fear into any normal person and almost cause you to avoid any and all confrontation with him or his crew. Knowing that even a victory over his crew would eventually lead to a confrontation against the unkillable creature that is Kaido. It's easy to see how a man like this can carve out his own section of the world and declare himself an emperor with little to no objection at all. I suspect many don't know his true devil fruit ability, so any fear people have of him is purely based on the stories told throughout the world and his overwhelming strength and durability. Now, Shanks is a bit of an unknown. Unfortunately, we don't have enough information about him as a whole, but for the most part, I get the impression that he uses powerful favors, which he gets through blackmail or withholding powerful and incriminating information. His infamy with the world government may be because he knows something the world government may not want to get out in the public. But unable to kill him, they may very well be working with him in a non-direct manner as a way to keep an eye on him, allowing Shanks to be able to do things most can't and get away with things most people wouldn't. As seen with his meeting with the Gorosei, again, this is all speculation, but Shanks doesn't have a large crew. He isn't really feared like Big Mom or Kaido or even Whitebeard. And while he may very well be strong, from the quick confrontation he had with Kaido during Marineford, it seems he almost used his favor or incriminating information to sort of get his way and avoid battles altogether. Shanks by no means seems weak at all, but I think his strong suit is his cunning personality and clever tactic. From the beginning of One Piece, he seems like the wisest person in the room. Wouldn't be surprised if him and Luffy's meeting is more of a political event than that of old friends meeting up again. Blackbeard is a bit of an oddball to these dynamics, with his power in the world or reputation in the world being through infamy. After the events of Marineford in the 2 years that followed, it seems like Blackbeard has become a household name, more so than even Kaido. From fighting and defeating 3 Whitebeard commanders to his fight against the Revolutionary Army, which again is seemingly one of the most powerful and most wanted organizations in the world. It was even stated that he briefly fought against CP0, a high-ranking government organization which works closely with the Celestial Dragons. For anybody who doesn't know, the Celestial Dragons are kind of treated like gods on this world, so take that as you will. Blackbeard definitely didn't waste any time carving his name out in the world, as it shows with his massive bounty of 2,247,600,000 berries, a huge gain from his seemingly 0 berry bounty at Marineford just 2 years ago. And to put the cherry on top, Blackbeard has done the seemingly impossible, housing 2 devil fruits, which was thought to be certain death by the rest of the world. Being the only person in the One Piece world with 2 devil fruits, easy to get famous really quickly. His crew isn't nothing to scoff at either. Known as the Devil Fruit Hunters, the crew is made up of famous and dangerous pirates, previously captured by the world government, who travel the world stealing powerful devil fruit abilities for themselves. You have a large threatening captain with 2 devil fruits, a crew of famous and deadly pirates, all with powerful devil fruits for themselves. It's easy to see how Blackbeard grew to call himself an Emperor of the Sea and to be considered one of the 3 great world powers. I feel each Yonko represents a certain aspect of power outside of the conventional methods which can be used to conquer the world. One through fame, or sheer power, or influence and alliances, or just sheer wits and cunning tactics. The Yonkos have been a crucial part to the story of One Piece, but looking at the Yonkos through the eyes of the world, it's easy to see how they got to their position and how influential they really are to the world of One Piece. It'd be really interesting to see how Luffy goes ahead and becomes an emperor and declares himself a conqueror of the world. Will it be through sheer power by defeating both Big Mom and Kaido? Will it be through his alliances, through his crew, or the nations he's allied to, kind of like Alabasta or Merman Island? Really interested to see the steps Luffy's gonna take to become a Yonko, and from what it looks like, these 4 steps seem to be the more conventional manners. So will he take one of these 4 methods, or will he carve his own path to conquering the world? As always, guys, my name is Mighty Flux. You can catch me on Twitter, which is at Mighty_Flux. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day. Until the next one, I'm Mighty Flux. Take it easy. Goodbye.